Hi everyone, I am back with the 2017 Mickey and Minnie card series. This is the first part of the video that will be at the beginning of every video for the series for you. And this is the cutting of the cardstock to create the corner fold for the card. So what you need is your card base, which is going to be 5.5 by 8.5. I will just zoom out a little so you guys can see. So you need a 5.5 by 8.5 inch piece for your card base. I'm using black again. Then you're going to score that at 4.25, and then you're going to need a trimmer. Now I've got the Stampin' Up! Trimmer, which is perfect for this. I know Fiskars has one that's similar, that's got the little V-blade that you can get, and the reason that we're using one like this is because we are cutting in the middle of the card, so a rotary cutter is just not going to work. You're not going to get the precise cut that you need. So if you've got this type of trimmer already, perfect. If not, Stampin' Up! Does carry these, and there's always a link in the description below. So, yeah. Now, what I did with mine is, I'm going to zoom back in. I have marked mine, as you can see, with some white cardstock. So the measurements that you're actually going to be using are going to be the 5/8 mark, the 2.5, the 3, and the 4 7/8. The reason I marked mine is if I move this cardstock out of the way, there's a dark brown print underneath this, and I can't really read that when I have darker cardstock underneath there. So I just took a thin piece of washi tape and just wrote on it with a really fine Sharpie, and there you have it. So let's get to the cutting. Now here's our score mark at the 4.25. So what we're going to do is take this edge of our card, and I am working around my tripod, so excuse all the arms and hands in the way. So we're going to line this up at the 3-inch mark. We're going to take our blade, move it to the 2.5, and we're going to cut, down to the 4 7/8. So you should have a little cut there. Then we're going to turn it, and we're going to line it up at the 3 again. Then we're going to move our blade to the 3-inch. And we're going to cut upward to the 5/8. And you should have a little slit like this. So that's how you do the cutting. Okay, now that you guys have your cut marks on your card and you've got it scored, we're going to go ahead and put the rest of this together. So we're just going to fold this in half, creating our A2 size card here. This is the back to school version of this card. Today is the 17th of July as I'm filming this, and we actually start school here in less than a month, which is totally nuts because I'm not ready. Don't think my kids are either. So you're going to take this little flap here that we created and just kind of fold it back on itself. And sometimes I like to just fidget with it and make sure that it's going to fold evenly so it's straight. There we go. Now we've got this part of our card done. Yeah, that's pretty even. And now we're going to go ahead and do all of our mats and layers. Alright, so the front piece here, I'm going to stick mine under here and make sure it's going to line up pretty good. So it's going to go like that. There's a little bit off. I'm going to take just a little bit of a sliver off of this end here. But this piece measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And to get your diagonal piece, let me just cut this little teeny slice off of this side. And I will show you. So I just took that little tiny sliver off. It's really small. Is all you do to get the diagonal cut is just take a ruler and measure over 5/8 of an inch from the top left and put a little pencil mark there, and then measure 1 7/8 from the bottom right and put a little mark there, and then when you line it up in your trimmer you can just cut it diagonally. I think that piece was just slightly off. There we go. That's a little better. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and add this to the front, and do not put adhesive here on your diagonal because you will glue your card shut. So we don't want that. Just on your straight edges here, like so. And get this lined up. I think my cutting was slightly off on this piece, but that's okay because you can still see a little black border. Okay, so now our front piece here, our white mat measures 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and the pattern piece is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So I'm going to go ahead and layer this up, get that stuck down. We'll move on to the inside. These are pretty quick little cards, actually. You could make all of your card bases pretty much in one shot, have those ready to go, cut all your papers and have those ready to go. I have made different versions of this card without using Mickey and Minnie. Did a couple birthday ones, so it's a very versatile style. So you don't just have to use it for Mickey and Minnie. So there's our front. Now we're going to move over to the inside here. And before we do that, we're actually going to lift this flap up, and I like to just take a strip of ATG and just fold that down like that. So now that will stay put. Okay, so our inside is the same measurements as the outside. So 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and then 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. So we're going to go ahead and layer these up. Get these stuck down to that left side panel on the inside of this card. And then we can get our message mat on next. And do some stamping. Alright, so now we're going to get this attached over on this side here. And I leave a little black border. You don't have to if you don't want to. So then there's the inside. Now we're going to put our message mat over here. And this measures 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Gives you a nice large space for your message writing and our stamping that we will be doing. There we go. So your card should look like that. And now we're going to do our stamping around here. So I'm using, this is a stick by Stamps by Judith. have to get a little wipe out. And I will put a link in the description for you guys on where I purchased these. If you do have a Stamp and Scrapbook Expo that comes to your town that you get to visit, she usually has a booth. She's never not been at any of my expos, and that's where I've purchased the majority of my sticks, but you can buy them online, and I've done that as well. So I'll put a link in the description like I always do for you guys, and you can go check out her little sticks and stubbies. They're really cool. So this is the apple. This is what the little rubber part looks like. So I'm going to use the rhubarb stock by Memento for this one because I wanted my apples to be red. You could do green. You could even do the yellow apples, but I figured those are more fall-like. And red apples just kind of represent school stuff a little better. So, alright, going to stamp one there, and then I alternate my stamp so they go different directions. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. I do about 7 of them on here. 1, 2, 3. That pad is getting, it's just not so juicy anymore. I'm gonna have to get a refill for that. So there's my little apples. Clean that off. Alright, so now we're going to do our sentiment stamping. So today I'm actually using the old retired Hostess set from Stampin' Up! Called Express Yourself. So again, you do not have to have this particular set to make these cards. I'm just using what sentiments I have on hand for me. So I don't have anything that says back to school or anything like that. So you could actually do like a good luck or, you know, anything that's related to some kind of school type of thing. But I'm going to do this you can do it kind of as an encouragement kind of card, I guess. So I think I'm just going to, normally I stamp in the same color of ribbon, but I think I'm going to stick with the red on this one, and we're going to see what it looks like. We may move to a different color, so I'm going to stamp this in the rhubarb stock, and then I think I'm actually going to stamp it again. Let's see, I think I'm going to do the crushed curry. Whoops, I'm going to get ink everywhere. Alright, so I'm going to actually do the crushed curry because it's the yellow I think that will match this ribbon. Just to see which one I like better because I didn't think that through before I started this video, but that's okay. So just going to stamp it there and see which one I like better. So yeah. Sometimes I'm not 100% prepared for you guys and I feel bad. But, you know, things happen. Stuff goes on. It's called life. Okay, so I'm going to punch both of these out using my word window punch. The retired one. So you can use any type of punch that you have, or die cut that you have, or you could hand cut these too. I went through my, when I first started crafting phase of having to do a lot of hand cutting because of not owning a lot of, you know, fancy tools and things like that. So over the years, as a dedicated crafter, you know, your collections kind of grow. And I do have favorites though. And I got quickly out of the habit of buying things that I didn't necessarily need, that I wasn't using, because I went through that phase too. and had to weed out a lot of unnecessary items. So there is always that. Okay, we're going to I'm going to go ahead and put these rhinestones. These are the old basic rhinestones that I'm still using up. Our newer ones don't have the strips on them, so you'll just get the full sheet of the 3 sizes without the strips. So these would go all the way across, these would go all the way across. That's the only difference. I just have a ton of these that I still have to use up, so. Alright, going to put this on the modern label that I punched out. And again, it's another one that is retired. So if you have it, great. If not, you know, use what you have. Alright, let's see. Let's go ahead and put Mickey and Minnie on, which I'm running low. And then we will see which color looks better. So just get these guys lined up and take my Zig 2A. I'm going to go ahead and attach these and then see which color I like better for my sentiment. I am glad that I did the red apples though. Okay. This one here. Alright, let's see. Get Minnie's bow on. And this is just, it's like a golden yellow eyelet ribbon. Just the stuff that I get at Michael's. Alright, so there's her ribbon. I'm thinking that the yellow is going to look the best. So I'm just going to kind of put this together and see. Alright, let's try the red one. Crud. Well, actually I think I like the red one better. We're gonna do the red one. So I think it helps the apples pop out a little more. So, red it is. Oops. Okay, so we're going to get some dimensionals here. Put a couple on the back. And then we are done with this card. These are really quick, like I said. I just tend to take longer sometimes because I'm so indecisive. Undecisive, whatever you want to say. However you want to say it. Alright, so this I'm just going to kind of center. There we go. So there we have it. A back to school Mickey and Minnie series card. There you go. Any questions or comments, leave them down below. I will try to get back to you as soon as I can. I do not check YouTube every day, but I do get there eventually. So I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!